Ta-da! Welcome to Tilting at Brushes. This is our special Inktober 2019 series. October 2019 is called Inktober, and each day is a different keyword to paint to. Today's keyword is bait. So we're going to do a bait-based picture, which I thought of couple of different ways. So here's how we're going to do this one. I'm going to start off with a nice bright green vine. Don't want to make it too big. Vine. On the end of the vine, I'm going to put in a flower. I'm going to use the petal tool in nice vibrant orange. And then back to green for the little base of it. So there is my vibrant orange flower. And let's add a stamen or whatever you want to call it without getting too graphic here. Small it out and bring it out. There we go. Flower. Just to sparkle it up a bit, we'll add a few sparkles over at the end of it. We'll grab a bright yellow and just a few stars right around the end, so that there's stars in the flower. When you're looking at it from the right angle, you see the little stars. Okay. We'll add a few leaves to the vine. I'm going to use a similar shade of green, but I think I'm going to use one of the tapered, so it's got that slight point to it. So if I do a leaf, I can try to bring the point to the vine. See how we're doing that? Just a few leaves. Trying to make the vine look a little harmless, very plant-like. Nobody would suspect anything wrong. Very simple little plant. So now with this plant, the bait part of it, let's go for a big leaf. A little bit shorter. Okay, so I'm going to select that and scale it up just a bit. There we go. Same thing in a slightly darker. Okay, let's see if I can move that. We're not disappearing inside, but we're following it as close as we can. There, I think that's going to do it. Leaf starting to form here. Now we'll make it interesting. I'm going to use the same color as my flower, but I'm going to switch to this vinyl tool again. And do a much skinnier one like that. Okay. I don't like the way it's clipping, so I'm going to grab you and pull you out just a little bit. The black can clip, but I don't want the red to clip. Okay, so you can see what we got going. Now the icing on the cake is to go back to my spikes, and in a nice pale gray, with a slightly greenish hint to it. Let's get a couple of these going. There, see what I've done there? A little bit of spiky teeth. So let's grab this whole leaf and all the teeth so I can duplicate it and put it over here. And duplicate it and put one over here. And duplicate it. And put one down here. And duplicate it. And one more over here. There. So now I've got this lovely bright flower. I'm going to darken these guys down a little bit. They're a little too vibrant. So I'm going to go and grab my green, but I'm going to darken that green a little bit. And then recolor. And then darken that other green just a little bit. Whoops. 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 There we go. Whoops, I didn't realize I missed that red. So let's pick up that color and recolor him red. There we go. So now the center flower still pops a little bit more. I'm even going to darken the red of the things. So hopefully, whoops, hopefully the center flower is what really pops. Now we'll fill in with our dark green. I'm just going to use my matte hull down here. Bring that up and then select, whoops, connect you a little bit better. Connect you a little bit better. Now we'll get all of you. There. So now we've got our bait flower. Ooh, I'm out of focus. But we've got our bait flower working to get the pieces we want. Hopefully my autofocus will kick in soon. There we go. So now we've got our bait flower. Draws you in to look at the sparkly flower and then snap. So let's put this guy in an environment. I'm going to select everything so I can move him here. And I'm also going to duplicate and make a second one over here a little bit smaller. Over here in the distance. Slightly different angle. Okay. Now I'm going to use a quite dark green indeed to get some general landscape here. See, I'm just sort of building up a ground using my hull and the different ways you can use it to raise and lower and change the way the landscape looks. So we want a little bit more of a hill over here. But I don't want to make it too sudden in one place, so we'll build it up a little more. There we go. Build up some landscape over here. There we go. So now I've got my bait flower and another one in the background over there. Let's smooth this area out a little bit. Okay. I'm going to do our usual down and dirty forest trick. I'm going to grab, this time I'm going to use the splatter brush to make sort of a tree. And a darker green will make it more vibrant greeny green. A little bit of a darker green underneath to imply shadow and things. And then we'll use a brown icing for trunk and branches. So you can see what I'm doing here. Maybe a twisted branch. So now I can select this. Duplicate. Tree. Duplicate. Smaller tree. Duplicate. Smaller tree. Duplicate. Smaller tree. Duplicate. Smaller tree. all you smaller trees. Duplicate. More trees. Duplicate. More trees. Duplicate. More trees. Duplicate. More trees. You can sort of see what I'm doing here. Mostly this, let's make them a little bigger for over here, is so I can quickly throw together a fake forest without actually having to spend too much time on the details themselves. So there's our fake forest in the background with our lovely bait trees lurking in the foreground. With more time, I could add texture, other bushes, but really I just want to focus on my little bait flower here, since that's the topic for today's Inktober. So bait, I've got a flower that lures you in so that it can fertilize itself aggressively. So thank you for joining me for today's Inktober. The word is bait, Inktober 2019. Have fun tilting at brushes.